Rodgers wins the game. Says afterwards he's happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets.
That was great to be able to see, and I think Aaron handled it, his interviews and everything appropriately, because it's true. Don't lie. Yeah, none of these people, they didn't want me up in here.
How worried should the Chiefs be about that core going forward?
Their whole problem was wide receivers last year and offensive line. And guess what? Travis Kelce cannot lead the passing attack. 3 years ago, he could. 4 years ago, he could. 5 years ago, he could. You didn't necessarily need a number one receiver. That's why they traded Tyreek Hill. They knew they had the money issues coming up and said, okay, man, we can let him go because Travis is still doing it. Travis is not that guy anymore. When you have the success Baltimore's had, not only Super Bowl with Harbaugh, but their players, like their key players have played in a lot of big-time games. And of late, the last 3 years, they've beaten themselves. No one's beaten them. Buffalo didn't beat them last night. They beat themselves. Last year's playoff game, they beat themselves. 2 years ago playoff game, Xavier Worthy, they beat themselves.
All right, welcome to Fully Loaded, episode 66. Sean, Mike, Cris Carter, how you doing, dude?
Good, bro. How you doing, man?
Fresh off the first full weekend of football. Got one more game tonight. So let's start with the game last night. I want you to tell us what we watched last night with the Bills and the Ravens.
Well, you watch something that we've always known for a long time, that if you have an elite quarterback, the game is almost always in reach. And probably the biggest indicator of wins and losses is turnovers. I mean, Baltimore, you could not come out of the preseason into the regular season right where they ended last season. Lost in dramatic fashion overtime to Buffalo last year in the playoffs. The NFL is incredible. Let's reschedule that. Let's redo that. Let's run it back.
Yeah. Open the season with it.
Yeah.
Sunday night. I mean, great atmosphere. The last opening night in that ancient stadium they have there in Buffalo. Next year they're going to have a beautiful new place that they're $2 billion stadium. So when he turns the ball over, Derrick Henry, I mean, at that time, the game was totally lopsided. I mean, 7 of the first 8 drives, Baltimore comes out, they score, and ends up finishing. Buffalo scored 4 out of their last 5 drives that they had the football. So you don't expect 80 points to be scored in a game like this. And I was totally shocked at when it's a big game situation, how these things keep creeping up for Baltimore. Like Lamar played a brilliant game. I mean, you're talking about the first game of the season. They don't have the conditioning. They haven't played a lot in the preseason, but to play and execute that level, I mean, that was truly amazing. But deep down inside, I have to worry about the overall psyche of Baltimore because people say, oh, it's just the first game of the season until you have a big lead. Correct.
When the experts, when they say you have a 99% chance of winning the game, you can't get back in the locker room and lie to the players. Like, these are not the things that typically make teams better, especially if they're a veteran team. A younger team came in, played over their expectation, had a big lead, then lost to Josh Allen, MVP. I understand. But when you have twice MVP, when you have the success Baltimore's had, not only Super Bowl with Harbaugh, but their players, like their key players have played in a lot of big-time games. And of late, the last 3 years, they've beaten themselves. No one's beaten them. Buffalo didn't beat them last night. They beat themselves. Last year's playoff game, they beat themselves. 2 years ago playoff game, Xavier Worthy, they beat themselves. So how does Baltimore get over beating themselves? But this one's going to hurt for a long, long time, especially we get in November and we get to that week 15, 16, 17, and now Baltimore is either tied with Buffalo or 1 game behind, which means 2 games behind because they got the head-to-head.
Right.
Then it will mean even more. Now, if Baltimore can go on and have the best record and still have home field advantage and the head-to-head doesn't matter, then the game won't matter that much. Then we play in the playoffs in Baltimore. But both of these teams are drastically different, and both of these teams want to be able to play at home in the playoffs.
Josh Allen was 33 of 46, 394 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar threw the ball 19 times.
Plus 2 running touchdowns.
Plus 2 running touchdowns.
Yeah.
Lamar 14 of 19, 209 yards, 2 throwing touchdowns. Derrick Henry ran for 170 yards,
Zay Flowers had 150 yards. But to your point, man, what do you do about it, dude? As a team, like you've had this many games.
Every game's an opportunity.
Yeah.
So you chalk it up and say, listen, we're going to learn from this. We're going to look at next week's game. That's the most important game. And that's why you play 17 of them. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, when you face the best teams in the league, there are a certain amount of real questions that real football players are going to be asking each other. And I know Lamar, because last year in the press conference after the playoffs, he said, I'm tired of getting on this mic making up excuses. So now when you're the leader, you're the face of the franchise. Now you're back at the mic.
Correct.
And it's not his fault, but people blame the quarterback.
Correct.
So this was a game that didn't mean anything, and then now all of a sudden it meant an awful lot.
Well, talk about blaming the quarterback. So how about the Giants? Giants open up, lose the game. They ball. They're frustrated, and they say he's not going to name a week 2 starter. Is it going to be Dart or is it going to be Wilson again?
Well, you can't come out of camp unless there was some indicator that, okay, like college, this kid, he beat out him, but we're going to play both quarterbacks. The NFL, you can't go week to week. And it's obvious when they made the decision to make Jameis the backup, because we know that Jameis is a capable backup. When they made him the number 3, the emergency quarterback, and moved Dart to number 2, it was just a matter of time. Mm-hmm. And the only life that this team has, I told you, was if they get off to a remarkable start and their defense leads them, because they're not going to be an explosive offensive team, because then that defense gives them time for Dart to watch, get caught up to the speed of the game. You don't want to force him into the lineup, 0-2, 0-3, then you force him in there. But that's the only leg that the general manager and the head coach have to stand on, is that if people see him and see some type of promise, we drafted him.
Keep us around. We brought him into camp. He's all right.
And now can we revisit something?
What's that?
Now you know why the Giants didn't draft Shador. Imagine if Shador's on that team, because they still got Russell and they still probably got Jameis. And now the coach comes out and says, don't know who's going to start in week number 2.
The media circus in New York, bro. Yeah.
And then now the coach, too.
Prime, yeah. They both going no matter what. He's out.
Right, but
he's on a clock.
But remember we were having those conversations?
Well, you had said
and
that
then
he was
people were like, oh, no, you're reaching. Okay, now we're in the season. and now you see Cleveland still needs a quarterback. The Giants still need a quarterback. That's why all this scrutiny and people passing on a competent number 1 quarterback in Shador Sanders, that's why it was such a big deal, because their problems have not changed. And you're supposed to go into free agency and the draft and solve your problems. Their problems have not changed in the Giants and the Browns. They still need a franchise quarterback.
They still definitely got a problem in both places. So I hope y'all listen to Chris. You 2 for 2 so far on a picture spread. You took Philly. I'm sorry, you took Dallas.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So they weren't going to cover. You took LA. You're all over that.
Absolutely.
So you got your one more tonight.
They're one of the underdogs. Now the primetime games I was better at. The NFL on Sunday.
We didn't even mention that.
Are my teeth in? They knocked my teeth out.
No, they knocked my teeth out.
Well,
yeah.
Sometime I'm part of the company, sometime I'm a consultant. You can't depend on the consultant. They're hired guns.
So on the ones you gave everybody live, you're 2 for 2 so far. You still feeling good tonight about the Vikings to cover that 1.5?
Yes, the Vikings have an excellent roster. Okay, now you can bet on coaches, you can bet on schemes, or you can bet on rosters or the totality of all of those things. The Vikings have all those things. One caveat, they just have a young quarterback. Now, Caleb Williams, in starting all last season, even though him and JJ are in the same draft class, drastically different as far as what they're going to see. But I do believe that the Vikings defense will allow him, because I don't believe they're going to be in a bunch of shootouts. They have that type of defense. They have a dominant defense that it will allow him time. But no time like Monday night against a big rival in Chicago for the Vikings. Very, very exciting. I got my Vikings.
Of course you do.
Got my Vikings on.
Of course you do.
So it should be a very, very exciting game. Very exciting game. We saw the deficit of Ben Johnson being taken away from Detroit. That team looked totally different. Most explosive team in the NFL the last 2 years. I mean, they look like another version of Detroit that we're used to seeing from back in the 90s and everything. But so that right there we know is a real thing. Do we see that instant boost for Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears? I believe we will.
Okay.
I believe Ben Johnson is that type of guy. And, of course, one of the best play callers and quarterback groomers that we have, Kevin O'Connell there with the Vikings. Should be a great matchup.
Great. All right. What happened with the Dolphins? My man Danny Diamond, the Colts beat the Dolphins 33-8.
Mm-hmm. The number one thing that happened was that we didn't know as a public. We've been hearing about all this nipping, all these little things they've been saying in the Dolphins locker room. They had 6 captains, I think, on the team last year. 4 of those 6 captains are no longer on the team. So typically, when you select a captain,
it's a big deal.
They grown men.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched the Jets try to complete a pass late in the game, and a very good player that was playing for the Dolphins got traded, Jalen Ramsey. He breaks it up for the Pittsburgh to win the game.
Dude.
Smoked him.
Yeah, he smoked that dude.
I mean, it takes players to be able to win this game, but so I don't think that all the little things coming out of the locker room, I do believe that they were a lot more truthful compared to just, oh, let's just talk. It's just, no, they got some real problems. You can see on the sideline with Tyreek Hill and Tua, their body language is not good together. And for the first time, I'm going to give the Dolphins 3 or 4 games. But this is the first time that I'm starting to see that NFL defenses are starting to catch up and understand the Dolphins' offense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't see them plays been like, wow, that was a hell of a play. Did you see that? Man, he faked him and he crossed him and he hit him on him and he was running. So they don't look that much faster than everyone the way they did the last couple of years. So those are the things that I'll be watching for. And as a former receiver, you need to have a camera on Tyreek Hill 24/7 because he's going to do some things that I do believe that they might have to get off of him before the trade deadline. He would probably be the number one person to get traded. I'm talking about real football, not fantasy football, before the trade deadline. You know, because he's disgruntled. Now the top receivers are making over $40 million. He thought his little contract he signed a couple years ago was nice until Nice showed up, Chase, Justin Jefferson, and now even DK Metcalf, guys like that, Amon St. Brown, Detroit. All these guys are making more money than him. And he considers himself a top 5 receiver, and so do I. So that will continue to boil.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you still Mike? I mean that. Mike McDaniel can't make them to stop. They can't get them to stop nipping at each other. He can't get them to. You still a Mike McDaniel supporter?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know what his disposition is behind closed doors, but his whole interview process, his whole personality, the first 2 years, it was very nice and refreshing. I just begin to wonder, and it's not like a Tony Dungy thing, you know, can that guy have command? Because when Tony Dungy was an assistant coach in Minnesota, I could see, without profanity, like no style, any other coach, I could see how much respect people had for him and the brain power and how much football he knew and how much he cared about the players. Mike McDaniel, I don't hear a lot of guys have that type of thing to say about the coach, like what they say in Philadelphia, what they say in Buffalo, what they say in Baltimore, you know, about their coach and their love for their coach. I don't see that. I don't hear that. I'm here locally. Don't hear that in the interviews. So for me, you know, what is the attachment between the head coach and the team now? Because typically you take on the personality of your head coach. And his personality is very, very different than any other head coach that we ever saw. And because the way the offense was clicking, we said, okay, man, this is nice. It's refreshing. But the league's caught up to it, and I do believe that he's lost that locker room, and especially when you lose your key players. And when you let another player affect your quarterback, like you ain't no grown man to be doing that because you should have nipped that in the bud.
Yeah, but did we need that to look at Mike McDaniel, see how foolish he is, how stupid shit he says? No, he wasn't a grown man. I'm just saying.
No. First of all, let's take that. He is a grown man, but in speaking can you lead grown men?
You're talking about leading some of the most aggressive.
Now you're talking about his disposition, his overall height and everything.
No, I didn't say height.
Some of the things he was.
I didn't say height.
Some of the things he did was cute. Like he was racing the camera guy. Remember that from New England?
It's cute when you win. It's cute.
I saw him pull up to the game in a Bentley and everything. I was like, okay.
You take Tony Dungy.
He had the shades on.
But who's he kidding, bro?
Yeah, Tony Dungy's driving a Chrysler.
But Tony Dungy will still stand up in your face. He's a grown man and handle grown men.
Yeah, Tony Dungy's story, the morning he was getting interviewed by Tampa Bay, and he had been going through this interview process, and a lot of people was like, is his personality, like, is his disposition, is soft-spoken, like, will one of these owners? So on the morning of the Tampa Bay interview, he either drops or steps on his glasses, and he didn't have time to get them repaired. And he's like, Chris, I had to make a choice. And I was like, okay, what was it, Coach? He was like, I had to go in there and look like a fool and with broken glasses on, looking like some type of mad scientist, or I can go in there and look like a fool and not be able to see or be able to recognize anything on the board or anything. So I chose to be myself, and I wore the glasses broken and everything.
There you go.
And Tampa Bay hired him.
They hired him. It worked. He hadn't stepped on his glass, he may not have gotten hired. Yeah. The Raiders went to New England and beat them early by a touchdown. Bucks took down the Falcons. Packers beat the Lions up pretty good. What do you think about the Lions and all the hype surrounding the Lions coming into the season?
I think that we've seen this around the league, and it's the most successful teams, they're going to poach your coaches. Mm-hmm. And we've seen it with Belichick. We've seen his guys typically go other places. They don't have no magic till they come back with Belichick. But when you lose both your coordinators, like, that's a real thing for Detroit.
Yeah.
And the way they attack after they've dominated the NFC North the last 2 seasons, and not just in wins and losses, I'm talking about points, differential. I mean, they have dominated them. They have blown people out. They have embarrassed a lot of people in the North. They didn't have that. Now, Johnny Morton is the new coordinator, former NFL player, but, man, he is under the spotlight because he's got great personnel. The one thing that people didn't mention was that Detroit, their overall physicality, they did go through 3 changes on the offensive line. They got a new center, and they got 2 new left guard, right guard. Now, they still have Sewell, the right tackle, and they still have Taylor Decker, the left tackle. They're grown men. They're really good football players. But internally, I could see that Green Bay was giving them a lot more pressure, and Detroit was not able to run the ball between the tackles, what we've seen the last couple of years. So I am concerned about that. I do believe that will be an issue. But I thought the 18 to 20 players they had on injured reserve coming back this year would be the big difference. I thought that they could really be one of the better teams in the NFL and not take a step back. But Aaron Glenn, I saw that he had the Jets operating where they had an opportunity to win the game. And then Ben Johnson, we're going to see him tonight. So, that's a lot of brain power going out of a building at one time.
Yeah, tough to recover.
Mm-hmm.
So Pete Carroll, I didn't realize he's the oldest coach to win the NFL now?
Yes.
74 next week.
Yes.
Pete Carroll. What do you think about Pete Carroll, man?
Great coach. Wins at every level.
Yeah.
And coming back to the Raiders, I think the Raiders signed him to a 3-year contract because, 74.
Yeah.
So they're trying to win now. He traded for a quarterback he's comfortable with Geno Smith. But you talking about a good win, playing at 1 o'clock East Coast time from Vegas, flying all the way to the East Coast. First game with them, winning that game. The Raiders aren't going to win that game, the last 4 or 5 years. So what it really speaks for is the AFC West. So, okay, if the Raiders are the worst team, then, man, it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out year.
It's going to be ugly.
Right? We saw the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
We know Denver. Their offense didn't play up to speed, but their defense, that's going to travel well with Bo Nix in his second year with Sean Payton there. So that West, man, is going to be difficult. It's going to be a bloodbath. And when you get to the playoffs, whoever survives, they will be seasoned to be able to make a run at that Super Bowl.
So you talked about the Browns real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what did Flacco do? 31-45, threw a couple picks. touchdown, 290 yards. We going to be hearing anything about who's the quarterback for a while there, or is he just going to stay in that starting position?
Yeah, Joe Flacco. When you have Joe Flacco as your starter, it's like Pete Carroll. You can't sign neither one of them to no long-term deal, bro. I mean, Joe is a phenomenal athlete, but at this point in his career, and they didn't plan on Joe starting. They traded for Kenny Pickett. They were planning on him starting. And then they went through the quarterback thing. So, okay, now we got 2 veterans. So we don't need a guy in the first or second round because I think that's what they decided when Shador kept sliding.
Correct.
And then they go on and select, Dylan Gabriel. Shoot. Man, when you select him, bro, like you don't plan on putting him in there.
Mm-mm.
So they're stuck with him for at least the first month of the season. And then, hey, man, it's the sweepstakes, man. The first pick in next year's draft. I don't know if it's going to be Archie and everything. Archie did make a good comeback. I don't know who they were playing against Texas, but he made that week number 1 in Ohio State. He got baptized in the fire.
Yeah.
So there will be people, analyzing, hey, we don't have our quarterback. Should we try to jump in the next year? Because there will be plenty of top-flight quarterbacks coming in the 2026 draft.
Yeah. So the Browns kicker, Andre Szmyt, had a very forgettable NFL debut. He missed an extra point, potential go-ahead field goal in the second half. What I wanted to ask you, like as a player in the league, how hard is that? An extra point's an extra point, right? Like, how much of a struggle is that for a dude in the locker room with a bunch of other guys when that can cost you a game?
Because the coaches always say, one play won't win or lose you the game. But that's not true. Because when you've played 58 minutes, 59 minutes, 55 minutes, if you make a play, negative play in them last 4 or 5 minutes, it will determine.
100%.
So, but to be fair, it's typically 3 to 5 plays change any game. And you just don't want to be part of them 3 to 5 plays. And you know that, when you get out there. So the higher the draft pick, the more battles we've had together, the better the response from the players. But people like Myles Garrett, people like Flacco and them, they're going to be pissed. Like, it's hard to win an NFL game. All of us have a job to do. Some of our jobs are harder than others. Some of us are compensated at a different level. But the responsibility for each guy on the 53-man roster to do their own job, carry your own water. Don't make someone else on your team carry your water. So we all got something to do. And if you make a mistake later in the game, you will get an inordinate amount of blame for that loss because of the time for which it happened.
Always blown away, too. And then you got to wait another entire week to do it again. I like the NBA, and obviously for multiple reasons, but now that dude just sits there, a week of practice.
Yeah, and guess what? As an offense, we can help that guy. Guess what? We can score some touchdowns.
Amen.
Don't put him out there for a 47-yarder. Let's get 2 more first downs. Let's plan in the end zone, give him a nice little extra point. Then we don't have to worry about that. So we all miss
another one. Yeah.
So we all play a role.
Yeah.
Miss a block, have a penalty, have to settle for it, miss an assignment, then you have to kick a field goal depending on this guy. And this is not right because I don't like kickers. I don't want to depend on a kicker for anything. Anything.
At all.
No.
Just score.
No, absolutely.
Go for 2.
If I could go for 2 every time, I would. No, for real, I would.
I know, I believe I've heard you talk about kickers. All right, so Travis Kelce knocked over, drilled Xavier Worthy, ran into him accidentally. He's out for a minute. Who knows how long it'll be. They're also without Rashee Rice. He's got a 6-game suspension. How worried should the Chiefs be about that core going forward?
Their whole problem was wide receivers last year and offensive line. And guess what? Travis Kelce cannot lead the passing attack. 3 years ago, he could. 4 years ago, he could. 5 years ago, he could. You didn't necessarily need a number 1 receiver. That's why they traded Tyreek Hill. They knew they had the money issues coming up and say, okay, man, we can let him go because Travis is still doing it. Travis is not that guy anymore. And, Xavier Worthy, man, he might be hurt. I think he separated his shoulder. Small guy like that, fast guy. He was ready to have a big year. So now are we just spinning our wheels? Can they get to 4-2 when Rashee Rice comes back for those final, 11 games? Because he's their number one target. And his development is important because he's a number one receiver. And he adds a speed element and a size element to them that they don't have without them. Other guys are just regular dudes. Yeah, they're just regular guys. They're just regular guys. So until they get Rice back and until Worthy is healthy, they're just going to be a regular offense. Nothing special about their passing game.
It'll be tough beginning of the season for them, man. All right, so talk about the NFL and the way they schedule and their entertainment and their sense of humor. They had the Jets, Steelers going to the Jets. Rodgers wins the game, 34-32. Says afterwards he's happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets after he taunted the crowd as he walked off the field Sunday. As he walked off the field, he later went on to say that a lot of people in here didn't believe in me. And after the game, Rodgers was asked if he took particular satisfaction in beating Glenn, who delivered the message that his services weren't what I wanted with the Jets. I was happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets. He said, what are your thoughts on that game? Rodgers moving forward, the Steelers.
Yeah, that was a real answer.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter, the Jets, there's a human side to all of this. And, to me, I always believe in, trying to treat people, especially initially, with a certain degree of respect. If you knew Aaron Rodgers was not going to be your quarterback, especially Aaron Glenn, you could have easily picked up the phone, called him in California, Hawaii, wherever, some teepee, some tent somewhere, sitting out there smoking, eating something.
Not had him fly in.
And just be like, we're going to move in a different direction. But out of respect for you, there's no need for you gas up the airplane. He came from California to New York.
That ain't cheap.
Landed in Teterboro. How much it probably cost him?
It cost me $8,000 an hour minimally, even if you own it, maybe $9,000.
Okay.
So 5 hours, 45 G's, 90. Throw some tips, $100,000 for the day.
120 grand
in your time,
just to get released from your job. When you could have called me, the way a lot of people do it, there wasn't going to be no press conference or anything.
Right.
So, to me, that was just not necessary. And then just the way the football gods have it, because the schedule was out before Aaron Rodgers decided to go to Pittsburgh.
Correct.
This just happened to work out.
NFL.
Now, we know the scheduling. We know they scheduled Kansas City, and we know Philadelphia, Dallas. The divisional game, first game. Man, the league knows what they're doing. Baltimore's got to travel back to Buffalo. Hey, let's get that right now, because it might not be as big a matchup later in the season. They know what they're doing. Oh, Pittsburgh's going to the Jets. Oh, Pittsburgh ended up, Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback in his last season. These things kind of work themselves out. So that was great to be able to see. And I think Aaron handled his interviews and everything appropriately, because it's true. Don't lie. Yeah, none of these people, they didn't want me up in here. Yeah.
So last night, first thing I turned on TV today, the first thing I hear these guys talk about in these shows is Lamar leaving the field, dude hits him in the helmet, and he pushes back into a fan. What happened with him? And I think it was a Hopkins and touchdown. Did you see that when they started banging their helmets? What is anybody going to talk about this again? Is there going to be any kind of? Is the league going to say anything about it?
I think because the league's always watching. We have cameras all on the sidelines and everything.
Picks up everything. They
really do see everything. So I think they'll probably make a ruling on it in a couple of days. It'll probably be all or just nothing. Just.
Why? Do you ever have a fan reach, not your own fan, not a dude like trying to pat you on the back, but opposing fans like swing at your helmet, smack you in the head?
Well, you shouldn't be trying to go near the fans, or you shouldn't be trying to go into the stands at a visiting stadium.
Okay.
So I've scored a lot of touchdowns, and the closer you get to the edge, the closer you are to someone grabbing you, somebody throwing something at you.
You never tried to make the Lambeau leap when you was in Minnesota?
Oh, no. I did a Lambeau leap in Minnesota.
Yeah, but not in Green Bay.
Against Green Bay. But no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I thought there's some video NFL films, guy scores a touchdown, and I don't know if it was Moss or someone, but they faked like they were getting ready to jump up in there, man. No,
they were ready.
Yeah, man. They might eat your elbow, man, as a brat or something, man. That's the dumbest thing ever. I'm getting ready to jump. That's like wrestling. I'm getting ready to jump into the opposing. No, that's not going to. Because guess what they're getting ready to do? As soon as you jump, move out the way.
Let you go down.
Let you hit them seats.
22 beers in and 4 hot
dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And they start at 6 a.m.
And if I could sneak a punch
they're
in
ready.
there.
But nobody will see me.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be drenched,
I get to hit an NFL with beers.
What?
Dude.
No, not smart. And also, when you're leaving the field, man, always put your helmet on. Man, you guys say, hey, sweetie, how you doing up there? No. Put that helmet on. Yes.
For the fans and the opposing team.
Oh, absolutely. And your fans spitting and everything. God. Oh, man, no.
Talk about spitting. Did Dak spit at that dude before he spit at him?
He spit in the guy's direction.
Do you think he was trying to taunt him?
No,
okay.
Dak's not that way.
Oh, he's not? Okay.
No. And this is, to me, the irony of it, because I know Dak and the people around him. When you get into competition, especially when you get an elevated heart rate, and if your hydration is just not perfect, you get a little feel in your mouth, and your spit becomes heavy. Mm-hmm. And especially, like, you can analyze your spit to check your hydration. Mm-hmm. And you could see when he spit, his spit was almost all white, which is not good.
Right.
And that's what happens to you when you're trying to play and you get your energy and then you haven't drank enough water. And it seems like right on the tip of your tongue, it's like always like dry. So he knew he had to spit. He came forward where the offensive linemen were so he wouldn't spit, because a lot of us do some spitting on the sideline and stuff, and it don't be all clear.
Yeah.
So he got past their shoulders and spit, and you could see the camera where he was making eye contact with Carter. He smiled at him.
Yeah.
So, typically people aren't going to spit and be smiling at you, and he spit this way, and Carter was over that way. Like you could see him. He was looking the direction for which he was spitting. And then he eyeballed him. And then Carter started saying something. And Dak's no chump. So Dak didn't back up into the huddle.
Man.
Like, he kept coming forward.
Yeah.
And, Carter asked him, did you try to spit on me? And Dak's like, why would I try to spit on you?
Yeah.
Like, what sense would that make?
That he spit on him.
Yeah, he spit. The jersey, Dak's, the NFL logo's right there in the middle on the collar. And then Dak has the captain over here. And then on this shoulder, guess what he's got? He's got the NFL Man of the Year.
Yeah.
So guess what? I think he got a little spit on the NFL Man of the Year thing. I think they should make him sit out of the game as a former NFL Man of the Year. Impeccable service on and off the field.
There should be an extra penalty for that.
And that's who Dak Prescott is, NFL Man of the Year. Also presented by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide, we appreciate you.
We'd like to appreciate you, no doubt about it. So that was what happened with that. All right.
Yes.
So let's move real quick. We had a lot of comments.
Oh my God.
A lot of questions. Good. You're gonna love them, NFL. You're gonna love them. But we're gonna go run down. We know what you like for this week.
Okay.
Run down the games next week. Just win or loser, and we'll do something live this week. Give you three games. So you got the Commanders going to the Packers Thursday night.
Packers.
Okay. You got the Browns at the Ravens.
Ravens.
Jaguars at the Bengals.
I'm going with Jacksonville.
Man, Bengals just can't start off strong, huh? Giants at the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Bears at the Lions.
Lions.
Patriots at the Dolphins.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins. It's going to be 90 degrees.
Okay. It better be 104. All right. The Niners at the Saints.
49ers.
Bills at Jets.
Bills.
Seahawks at Steelers.
Steelers.
Rams at the Titans.
Rams.
Panthers at Cardinals.
Cardinals.
This team's going to help make your boy Danny Diamond. He's going to have a problem. Broncos at the Colts.
Man, Denver.
Okay. Eagles at the Chiefs.
Eagles.
Falcons at your Vikings.
Vikings.
Bucks at the Texans. That's our first Monday night game that night.
Texans.
And then the Chargers at the Raiders.
Chargers.
Okay. All right. So you heard it here. You did well first week, dude. You did well first week. All right. Let's get to the comments real quick. Here we go. AK Preacher 1. Oh, God. Hey, gang. Uncle Tony in the house. We know. You've been first. You get so many comments, you be first comment every week. Great content as always, fellas. This is the only podcast that I watch from start to finish. Suggestion. You guys need some fully loaded merch. We have fully loaded merch. Which is the website? Fully loaded merch. Fullyloadedmerch.com. Can't find that. We get everything on. Anything you want to wear on there. Anything Chris got. Anything we got. You can get it there, Uncle Tony. So fullyloadedmerch.com. He said, I can't wait to get a long sleeve T-shirt and a trucker hat combo. I'm sure that'll be great on you, bro.
We appreciate the support.
All right. Can an NFL? Here's a question for you. Can an NFL receiver have good success with a limited knowledge of the route tree?
No. NFL we're talking about, right?
NFL, he said.
No. Division I college? Yes. NFL? No.
Okay.
Because these offenses are too sophisticated, and the defenses are ever moving and changing. So you have route combinations. Okay, if I have a cover 3, I run a curl. If I have cover 2, I run a post corner. If I have cover 4, I run a dig. All these things, like, you have to know, be able to memorize, and trying to play in different positions in the offense. Like, my assignment might be different from the X compared to from the Y and from the Z. And the more you know about those things and the more information you have about the route tree in the passing game, no.
Okay, no chance. Curtis Herman 6615. You can't predict a team's success based on the past season. The Cowboys will be fine. They were not good with Parsons. He was not a team player in the locker room and not a leader in the locker room.
Right. I would disagree with you. He might not have been a good leader, but he was a leader because players like that, people listen to him.
Yeah.
And they lead people the wrong way. And I disagree with you. You don't know how good a team's going to be in the NFL. Well, if they have good players, it's easier to predict. Now,
right.
Yes, every year we have someone go from last to first, but that's because of the parity that the NFL has top to bottom in the 32 teams. But every year we can pick 6 divisional opponents that are going to win their division every year because they got really good players.
Correct.
Guess what's going to happen this year? Green Bay, Detroit, Philadelphia, Minnesota, Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City. Those teams are going to win a lot of games. Now, there are going to be a handful of surprises, but those teams right there, they're going to win a lot of games. Why? Because they have the best talent and they all got good quarterbacks.
And the only thing I'm going to add is the Cowboys will not be fine. So, because they're the Cowboys.
No.
So they won't be fine.
Yeah, I didn't even get to that, and I don't agree with that part of it.
I know
either.
you asked.
So 3 of the 4 things you
broke
said,
everything
I
else
disagree
down
with.
well, yeah, you got it. Jarrell Brown, 2994. Where would you rank Michael Irvin on the all-time wide receiver greats list? As always, love the podcast. Keep up the good work.
Michael Irvin was a great, great receiver, and his whole energy and his story. His story as a receiver is probably top 5. His ability, I would say, is top 10. Top 10 receiver. Okay. His career ended a little bit earlier because of a neck injury. But Michael and I've been knowing Michael. Michael and I are the same age. We were both All-Americans in high school. USA Today All-American. We were both All-Americans, University of Miami and Ohio State together. We both made a bunch of Pro Bowls, came into the league the same time. My career overlapped his because it was longer. But truly one of the guys that I would watch a lot of tape of, learned a lot from, communicate about the receiver position. But I would say being a top 10 NFL receiver all time is legitimate. That's who Michael Irvin is.
Okay. And I did start watching.
Now, one of the top
they don't like that.
One of the top 3 personalities, and you're trying to have a good time, who to go with.
Michael Irvin. Well, you know what? You told me to watch. I've been watching that Netflix deal with the Cowboys.
Yes.
And watched him in there. I was like,
yes, he's worth the price of admission.
He's worth it. Like, it's part of why I kept watching him.
Yeah, those stories are not sensationalized. No. He comes out of the courtroom. He beats the charges. He tells the camera, hey, all you people out there thought I was guilty. Now I need you to report that I'm innocent. But I need you to do it with the same intensity. Same intensity.
Top three.
Yes.
In that regard.
Yes.
Ahmad Ferris 9083. I have heard coaches say teams improve the most from week 1 to week 2.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State and Texas both look sluggish and disorganized, but we all know preseason rankings are worth the paper they're written on. Some clarity will be provided around October 11th. War Eagle, love the show. Okay.
Nice.
All right, Auburn.
Good.
Okay.
The SEC is going to be tough this year. It's going to be a toss-up, too. But Ohio State's quarterback, Justin Sand, I think he completed his first 15 passes.
Okay.
Now, I'm telling you, he's one of the most accurate. Now, that's what Ryan Day has done. The quarterbacks that he has put in that system, I couldn't believe. He's basically a redshirt freshman. I think he completed 16 of 19. No, those preseason rankings, they do mean something, because you can see Texas and Ohio State, they will both be in the playoffs, and both you're going to have to bring your lunch to be able to beat them in the playoffs in January, December.
No, and Manning looked rough, but it was against Ohio State.
And Archie
that defense
is for real.
Oh, yeah, but on the road against Ohio State in that play.
Matt Patricia.
The
mad scientist.
He got the pencil in his ear, stumbled around, looked like he's in the NFL. It's a problem.
He can't believe the level of the players that he can get at Ohio State.
I bet he can't.
When I went there in the spring for a few days and visit with him and everything, and he was just like my days in Detroit, not New England, but my days in Detroit, man, we weren't as talented as we are here. Yeah. And Bill, do this with these young kids, Bill, Yeah, Matt Patricia and the Buckeyes.
He's excited. He got some good groceries.
Yes.
All right, Slab817. Cris Carter's recollection of the Herschel Walker trade and what it meant for him personally was hilarious. He put, quote, "I was so happy to see him at work every day. I hope he don't get sick."
Yep.
LOL. That was good. Shit was funny.
But listen, if you're at a company and they're paying someone, him or her, an extraordinary amount of money to be able to do a job that you feel like you have the competency to be able to do, or there's a role that you might be able to play that you can get compensated for, listen, if that person is habitually late to work, go pick their ass up. Make sure they get there.
As long as they stay.
Yes, because you're going to shine in that environment. You're going to shine. I knew we weren't going to be able to run the ball in Minnesota with Herschel Walker. Guess what that led to? Cris Carter being thrown to.
And somebody getting paid.
Yeah.
Shane Connolly, 8845. The one thing I have always liked from the outside view of Jerry Jones is the passion he brings for football. I find it fascinating he's the only owner who still owns an NFL team as a passion project, not a business. As a business, he made a lot of money. We know if he viewed it as a business, he would hire a GM. Instead, he does all the negotiation and pays more because it's a passion project.
Yeah, no, both things can be right.
Okay.
You can be passionate about football the way he was, and when you watch the Dallas Cowboys, the series, you can see he's really been into football. From the first day he took over Dallas, he said, "That's the job that I want. I'm already the owner. He already had that job, so now I want to be the general manager." But to think that he doesn't think about this as a business, no, he thinks about it as a business, but he's like a lot of people. He thinks he can do that business better than the other people.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't have a model that he's working from. And I'm going to say he stumbled up into success, and the best thing he did was hire Jimmy Johnson. He knew he was going to do that from the beginning. So that had already baked in a certain amount of success because Jimmy was going to take care of the football.
Correct.
In getting rid of that old roster, old coach, all those things they did, that's what led them to those 3 Super Bowls, those draft picks. And drafting those players, Jerry and Jimmy, now you do the story, the bio, Jerry can't remember if Jimmy had full control of the roster or not. Ain't that the damnedest thing?
It's weird how you can't remember.
I can't. No,
Jimmy can remember.
I never gave him full control. Jimmy's like, I would never came there unless I had full control. You don't know anything about football, Jerry. We're just friends from Arkansas, bro.
Correct.
So, no, he does look at it as a business, but he believes he can do that business better because of what he did in the first 6 to 8 years of the business. That model's gone, though. Mm-hmm. That's not a model. The model don't work anymore.
Right.
You don't have a dumb team like the Vikings and everything. Green Bay, yeah, they gave you 2 first rounders. But you see the team they put on the field?
Mm-hmm.
You see and you can't get those picks until 26 and 27.
Right.
Man, you can have Kenny Clark. Did you see that team they had out there?
Yeah, I did.
Man, Green
Saw
Bay.
what they did, too.
Yeah, so now the Vikings gifted Dallas at least 2 Super Bowls. Let's see what Jerry's getting ready to do late in life to the Green Bay Packers.
And I'd say it's one hell of a business, too. So for $100 million and change, I mean, worth billions, I think. And from the oil business, that's what he wanted.
Don't forget the coin toss for the extra $30 million.
Exactly. God forbid you don't flip a coin to see if you give it to him. Yeah. I mean, it is,
wow.
yeah. But hey, man, he's done very well business-wise.
Yes.
That's for damn sure. This one I got like this. Human Being 2420. I love when people watch stuff the entire time and they hope to find one mistake because congratulations. So my man put, or I don't know, man or woman says Human Being 2420. I don't know if it's a man or a woman.
Human being.
This person
Respect.
said, yes, I'm sorry because a lot of the comments were male. Does Chris know it's Micah, not Michael? So we must have been talking about Parsons. You might have said Michael. So, I'm 100% sure
I know
he knows.
it's Micah.
But, hey, good work. Good audit. We need to keep you on here, and you keep checking and figure out what we missed because we need the errors at the end of the show.
That's why I didn't try to pick up another language or anything because I'm still struggling with fucking English. Ain't no need for me to be bilingual.
No, you are bilingual. You spoke. Yeah, you're a different one. Silver_79. Jerry was in his feelings. Everyone in the facility knew they needed to stop the run even before Micah got there. Now, all of a sudden, when a deal falls through, stopping the run is the most important thing. Clown show. I would agree with that.
You have to make an excuse for a press conference, though.
You have to make an excuse?
You have to.
You can't just come out and say,
no, no, I got tired. Him and I had a handshake deal.
Yeah.
He went back to his agent. His agent said that deal was not confident.
I got emotional.
No, because it got to be right.
Okay.
Because it got to be right in this.
The excuse looks stupid. We got rid of him because they run the ball on us because of him.
You know when Buddy Ryan cut me what he said? He only scores touchdowns. That's why. Like, what? Is there any more impactful play than that?
Right, because you only score touchdowns. So that was a problem, unfortunately. Okay. All right. Chris Johnson, 40-39. After watching TCU's critical beatdown of UNC, how does Bill Belichick make the necessary adjustments to make the Tar Heels more competitive? It looked like the players were unprepared to play, plus TCU dominated both sides of the line of scrimmage with ease. I heard there was tremendous turnover with 70 transfers coming into Chapel Hill. I hope Belichick can put a more competitive product in the field, especially with Clemson, Florida State, Georgia Tech, and Miami in the mix. What do you think about UNC rest of the season?
No. One, because I try to get the traits or attributes that made him so successful in the NFL and the overall game preparation with veteran players. Like typically New England's roster would have more college graduates on it than any other team because the mass amount of football that he's going to teach you, situational football, it's like you have to be a smart person. Now, I'm involved in college athletics now. These kids have not played a lot of football. Their overall knowledge of football and football situations is like this. Like I would say that this generation of football players, I mean, they definitely have to be in the information age the least informed.
Why?
Because they played less football growing up. They played less like unscripted football. You know, with like rough and tumble. You know, you just go, hey, man, me and my buddies, the three of you guys, we're going to play, like, choose up sides, like basketball. Like, we used to do that all the time. And they don't watch as much football. They're not historians of the game. So, like, the past players and how the game was played doesn't affect the majority of the players. You have a handful of players that still are always going to be that way. So their overall experience in football is totally different than generations we've seen before. And I see it all the time. We have a short kickoff, and our tight end, the ball's coming right to him. And he just keeps drifting back. The ball's up in the air. He didn't know he could fair catch it.
He didn't know he could fair catch it.
That'll stop them from running, and they can't hit you.
I mean, he got smacked because
– and you could have lost the ball. You could have fumbled after they hit you.
I mean, they just don't know. So even in describing things, we have to make sure we describe them, and then we try to give them as much video for them to visually be able to see it. But, young people, they did not play the type of football that our generation did and the generations after us. Mm-hmm. So now, even though they're exposed more to the passing game, situational football, they haven't seen and experienced it. Like, you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked of the lack of overall knowledge. Like, if you went over all the rules, college and pro, like, these are the kids playing, and they're not going to know them.
Now, why did y'all play so much more football?
Just getting out the house. You had to get out the house.
So you're just playing all the time.
I mean, I think football and basketball. Mm-hmm. Like, anytime that we could do anything competitive with our guys and everything, that's what we would do.
Right.
And now, as we've transitioned and into the video games and everything, kids spend more time in air conditioning. It's been the president's study on overall health and everything.
Crazy.
And
now see the result. Now the kid don't know he can get a fair catch on a kickoff return because it's not in a video game.
No.
All right, Ken of the Sanford 2074. You are a collection of your decisions. A little pen paper. Yes.
Yes.
He likes to say that.
No, absolutely.
Good. Pete Odom. Jerry Jones doesn't care about winning the Super Bowl. He has the most popular, most valuable team. He only cares about the business of football. How much money can he make off of those rabid fans? When he's only worried about people talking about the Cowboys and not the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl, he's opened the door into the NFL. It's all about money. The talent is a sideshow to get you in the circus. We've created a year-long discussion about games men and boys play with a 3-month span. It's sickening, but these owners have fans right where they want them, begging to get in the door so the owner can keep raising prices.
The product's amazing.
The product's amazing. But here's the funny thing about fans. Like, I got my tickets to the Dolphins, right? Mm-hmm. And I got good tickets, whatever, down there. Dude, I can promise you that as bad as the product is in the football field, and I don't go there with jerseys and screaming and yelling, and I didn't do that when I was 23 either. But, like, whatever. I ain't going to keep going. The product sucks. I don't want to watch it. I mean, for me, my home team, I can watch on TV. Mm-hmm. I can go to watch Jacksonville play in Jacksonville.
Oh, absolutely.
I could do anything. I'm not going to be at every game. But it's also like the SEC. The thing that blew me away about the football, I didn't understand this until 12 years ago. I went to the Iron Bowl, 12-14. And I said to the dude, I said, hey, is Auburn any good this year? And they're like, it don't matter if either team. I mean, they're both, but it doesn't matter. They'll be 100+. And they were there for days, week. Mm-hmm. And I never saw that growing up in New England.
Yes.
And I will tell you that, and I don't have the stats and the attendance, but when the Patriots started winning, people up there got rabid about the Patriots.
Yes.
They were not rabid about the Patriots. They were not. But they've always been rabid about whomever. The Cowboys, like that's just, it's regional. Like for me, that was University of Connecticut.
It's regional.
The University of Connecticut basketball program. Mm-hmm. They won. They didn't win forever. Calhoun comes in. They win. They start losing. People stop going. Mm-hmm. They stop buying the product. And guess what? They start going, shit, we better get some nobody. We have a lot of people. There's a lot of empty seats. We have merchandise. We have food. We got beer. You need to win. But in some of these regions, you don't got to win. No. University of Tennessee, I went and watched a football game in there 20 years ago. I'm like, yo, are they any good? They're like, it don't matter.
What, 106,000, 109,000?
Just there to watch an ass kicking. Is there the teams that come in and beat them by 4 touchdowns? Culture, exactly. Yes. It's a culture. Yes. The Cowboys have great culture around that team.
Yes, and it's college-ish.
But even you're talking about that Netflix deal. I'm watching. I'm like, Jerry Jones did a pep rally for the Cowboys. He did. I was like, that's actually pretty. Like he brought him in the stadium. He's like, hey, I saw what colleges were doing. Why couldn't I do it in the pros?
Yes.
And the place was packed out. Emmitt Smith's all fired up. Everybody's there. So, yes, I agree with what you're saying. It is a business.
And that was his model. Jimmy Johnson, great college coach. Barry Switzer. That's how he won his first 3
Jimmy Johnson was I didn't realize he said he moved to Dallas. Was like, hey, family, like, I'm going to Dallas. Bro, like, hey, wife, I'm out. Like, I can't be doing both. I can't either coach a team or
But you've seen this in business, though.
Yes.
It just happens in football.
100%. And he was open about it.
Crazy.
And he was open about it. Instead of making an excuse, like, no, I didn't. No, this is what I did.
Psycho.
I wanted, psycho. So, all right, heavyweight funk.
Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan-ish.
Yeah.
As far as locked in, regardless of what people think, I'm going to be the best at this.
100%, whatever it takes. Heavyweight Funk. This is becoming my favorite sports show. Thank you. No host shouting every sentence as though the microphones are a waste of time, and no adolescent behavior like shadow boxing in a chair during the middle of a conversation about football. Okay, well, we love you for liking the show, and I ain't going to scream anyway because that wouldn't work very well for either one of us. Greg Jotty. Tampa will beat Atlanta. Did Tampa beat Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay, you were right, Greg.
Yeah.
They did beat Atlanta.
Yeah. Tampa's got a talented team.
Mr. Andrews 0511. KC Revenge Tour begins Friday. It didn't begin very well, but it did. They did begin.
They got to get healthy at wide receiver.
Yeah, and then King MJ's Day responded to Mr. Andrews and said, "Didn't start yet, LOL." After they lost, but maybe they're waiting. They're waiting until next week. The beautiful thing, it's a beautiful product. Football is back. The NFL is back. College football's rolling. It's going to be an unbelievable season. And if the season's anything like, well, even last night, I got this text from my buddy who's like, "Yo, that was the greatest game I've seen in a while." I'm like, "No, it's not. I bet on the other team. It wasn't the greatest game I've ever seen in a while." But it really was. Like, what a game, man. What a season we're in for.
The unscripted drama and the level of expertise. I mean, Derrick Henry threw 3 quarters.
Yeah.
I mean, they were showing those workouts that he does.
Yeah.
Running those hills with those weights and everything. He's 31 years old.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can look this up. I think Derrick Henry is the only player in the history of the NFL that he has, even as successful he's been, he's got like 10,000, 11,000 yards rushing in the NFL. That's less than he had in high school.
12,000 yards in high school. That's crazy.
I think Yulee High School in Florida.
People are just getting out of his way.
Yeah, I was
12,000.
The season's
yards.
back. I was just doing some research, and I was like, "Damn, high school." And they,
12,000 yards.
Jerry Jones didn't sign him last year. He's tapping on 2,000.
Imagine if he had.
And he lives in Dallas. He wanted to go to Dallas.
Imagine if he had signed him.
He lives there in the offseason. Oh, jeez.
Jerry Jones smart in all
Our
of us.
show's over with.
Jerry Jones is smart in all of us. He got it all figured out.
Jerry's making money. He's not making Lombardi trophies anymore.
Because it is a business.
And he knows that.
Yeah, and he's good at that part of it. So on that note, we're out. We appreciate y'all. We'll see you live this week. We'll see you back same time, same place next week. Thanks, guys.